would you look at that? I have an intro and a Mark Larkham style whiteboard. Speaking of Mark Larkham, I'm going to talk about a driver who has driven for his team from 2004 to 2005, Mark Winterbottom. He has retired just recently at the end of this season, and I'm just wondering, is he an underrated driver considering what he did? So he would start his career in 2003 driving for Stone Brothers in the Dunlop series, which was then called the Konica series. And funnily enough, his sponsor for that year, Milligan's Food Groups, is based here locally where I live in Oamaru, New Zealand. Actually, I can almost see the factory from my house. He would race that for 1 year, 1 year only because he won the championship. And he would also get a call up in the 9 car for the endurance races, the Russell Ingles machine, with Mark Noski. Unfortunately, results didn't show how well he did because he did extremely well, especially in Bathurst, but unfortunately, they had to retire. For 2004, he would go to Mark Larkham's team and have a quite impressive rookie season, getting 2 top 10s in the endurance races with Jason Barkwana to finish inside the top 20, although the next year was kind of a bit of a downturn. The only rememberable thing of Mark Winterbottom's 2005 season was the fact that he was almost cut in half by a grate in China. But he impressed enough to sign for Ford Performance Racing in 2006, taking over the 5 car, who didn't really do well in 2005, Greg Ritter. He was even dropped before the end of the season, so anything would have been an improvement from what Greg did. Thankfully, it was a massive improvement. 3rd in points in his first year, 2 wins, including an endurance racing win, and above all else, he just had that consistent season that they were looking for. That was probably the first season that Ford Performance Racing had that wasn't terrible. He would stay at FPR/Pro Drive Racing Australia/Tickford all the way up until 2019, when he would join Charlie Schwerkolt's Team 18 Racing and jump over to Holden. And he would stay there up until 2024, where he would retire from full-time competition. So what would he finish 21 years of Supercars racing at? Well, he would have 39 wins, 36 poles, 120 podiums, and 620 plus race starts. He is 2nd all-time on the race starts behind Craig Lowndes, and ahead in the wins list, 1 ahead of Alan Moffat, and only 1 behind Glenn Seaton to finish in the top 10 of the all-time winners list. What would his major achievements be? Well, his first win would be in the 2006 Sandown 500. His last one would be all the way in the 2023 round at Darwin. He would be a 2-time Sandown 500 winner, first one in 06 with Brighty, and the second one in 2015 with Steve Owen, which helped him win the 2015 championship, something that he'd been looking forward to for a very long time, and also the 2013 Bathurst 1000 winner with Stephen Richards. But what would some of his underrated stats be? Well, he'd finished 3rd in the championship 5 times. Once in 06, then 3 more times in 2010, 11, 12, and then another time in 2014. And between 2006 to 2015, he would finish no lower than 5th in points. 2016 and 17, he would finish a consistent and solid 6th in points and get his last win for Tickford in 2016 at Pukekohe. If you remember that race, that's the race where Jamie Winkup and Shane Van Gisbergen kind of took each other out. And even for Team 18, he really had consistent and solid speed throughout his whole time there. I mean, he never really had a bad season for them. Hear this: 2019 from 2024, 13th, 10th, 10th, 9th, 15th, 15th. Solid performances throughout the whole championship. And he would even get Team 18's first win as an organisation in 2023 at Darwin. So where do I think he should sit in the list of the greats? Well, this is my top 5 of the modern day greats from 1997 up until, well, today, how their achievements have been. J-Dub obviously at the top, Lowndesy obviously 2nd, Shane just pipped Scotty Mack, and Tander, also another underrated driver for what he has done, is in 5th. Where do I think Mark Winterbottom sits? Could be anywhere. Where do I think? 6th. He is just under Tander. I mean, he made that number 5 car for Ford Performance Racing the flagship vehicle. Before that, it was just the 6. I mean, it had Lowndes for 2 seasons and then Bright for 2005. 2006, Mark Winterbottom instantly comes in, just makes it such a good car and was a good car, even up until he left. Lee Holdsworth made it a good car, and it's a shame that Tickford aren't using that flagship number 5, even for Thomas Randall's car. Yes, it's the wildcard car, but you could have made the 55 the wildcard car. Hashtag bring back the 5, Tickford. So why do I think Mark Winterbottom doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he did? Well, because others did it better around him. You had the likes of Jamie Whincup, Garth Tander, or you had all these guys doing what he did, but better around him. So he couldn't really stand out. That's why he had so many thirds, fourths, and seconds in the series and at important races. Because he was one of the greatest of all time, racing against the greatest of all time. The amount of championships he lost to Jamie Whincup in Triple Eight was outstanding. I mean, if he didn't have Triple Eight coming up against him, he'd probably be a 3 or 4 time champion, honestly. So that's my theory, and talking about Mark Winterbottom's career and why I think he should be talked about more. Hopefully, for his sake, he gets another Bathurst win when he races at Tickford. If you want to see more videos of me on YouTube, like and subscribe. That just shows that you're interested in what I do. Yes, there'll be more videos in the future. I'm not going to try and do once every 2 weeks or some shit like that. And follow me on other on other platforms as well. I'm on TikTok, that's where I'm mainly at, but I'm also on Instagram. I've been there for like the last 3 weeks now. I do like my own sort of content on there. It's not just talking about news or some sort of stuff. So if you want to see more of that, you know where to find me. It's the same channel name as it is on YouTube, running on 7 cylinders.